Okay, so welcome to the next knitting tutorial. Today we are going to look at increasing in the next stitch and make one. They both have the same outcome in that you create an extra stitch, but they're both done in a slightly different way, and in one case you are actually using stitches to create another stitch, and in the other case you're not. So it does affect when you're counting your way across a row. So for example, if they were to say knit one, increase in next stitch, you have actually used 2 stitches to make 3. If they say knit one, make one, you've only actually used 1 stitch. So I'm going to show you the 2 alternatives now. So the first one, so this is increase in next stitch. So I'm going to knit one as though I'm at the edge of, say, a sleeve. And then to increase in the next stitch, I'm going to knit into the front, not slip this one off. I'm going to leave it exactly where it is, but I'm going to put my needle round and into the back and then knit into it. So here you can see that I've got the normal knit stitch and then I've got one with a little bar across. So it does look ever so slightly different. Most of the time in your knitting you can't tell, you won't see that. I'll just do a purl just to get that bit out of the way, and then I'll do this again. So knit into that stitch, gets it out of the way, increase in next stitch. So go into the front, work a normal knit stitch up to this point, don't slip it off your left needle yet, go into the back, in, round, pull it through, slip it off. So you've used 1 stitch and you've got your 2. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to work to the end because I'm going to pretend that this is a sleeve and that you are increasing at the end of the row. So this is the alternative, this is the make one. So I'm knitting that next to the last stitch, and then rather than using a stitch, I'm going to pick up this bar in the middle. And with this, this is where you're not using another stitch. You then slip that onto your left needle and you knit into the back of it so that you twist the stitch, and then you would knit your final stitch. And you can see there you've got your knit stitch here, you've got your increase which is taken from the middle, and then you've got that extra one. Okay, so that is where you've increased in next stitch there, and you've got what look like then 2 purl stitches here, or you've got a make one, and where you look to have 2 knit stitches here and then 2 purl stitches. At the other end, I've still got the individual purl stitch, but then I look to have 3 knit stitches. It's a very slight difference, but it can make a positive difference to your knitting. But also, when you're doing an increase row across, as you do quite often on a cuff or various points in a pattern, that is the main difference. On this one, you've used a stitch to create and make 2 in total. And in this one, you haven't. You have used the loop in the middle. So I hope that's helpful. That's the difference between an increase in next stitch and a make one. Thanks, bye.